What is up, Southeast Michigan podcast? We're back. It's been quite a long week. I was going to do a show, how we usually do Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I think I talked about this the last time when we went live about just life getting in the way. But at this time, it was kind of to wait and see how the news of the new game was. We knew the reveal was coming with the cover. Then we knew that there was going to be another reveal, possibly trailer. And so I was like, you know what, might as well just wait rather than um, putting out an episode and then things to be completely different within 24 hours. So here we are, a lot to get to, action-packed show. The Southeast Michigan podcast is free and available wherever you listen and or watch. Up on YouTube, so like and subscribe there. Click the bell if you be so kind. Rate us 5 stars on the audio platforms. That'd be also much appreciated. But let's get it right into it. We got uh, split into two segments again. We'll get into our transfer portal craziness. We'll talk about the college game, and then we'll get into my top 20 helmets of all time and some mailbag to close this out. So, segment one, let's get into it. Uh, yeah, college football, right? The reveal is now set in stone. July 19th, the release date. And the cover for the standard edition leaked the other day. Let's pop this up real fast. So this cover right here, if you're watching right now, you got Quinn Ewers, Travis Hunter, and Donovan Edwards. This got leaked and it was like in 480p. It was pretty pixelated, whatever, but it was making its rounds on Twitter and everybody was freaking out. And a lot of the rival fan bases for Michigan were getting pissed off because Donovan Edwards to them is still not that good, and getting salty about everything, right? Literally everything. But this was a legit photo, and so this will be on your standard edition right here. Got our trio here. Next, this was dropped later, the deluxe version. As you can see here, if you can see here in the photo, you got Jalen Milroe in the far background, Carson Beck from Georgia, got Quinshon Judkins from Ohio State. You got some other helmets that are noticeable, like Sarah. I think there's Florida Gators, excuse me, Notre Dame, Oregon, and then of course right up here up front is our trio again: Travis Hunter, Edwards in the middle, and then Ewers on the left. So Michigan's showing out, and now Michigan it can proudly say that they've had four players on the cover of the video game: Charles Woodson, Desmond Howard, of course, Denard Robinson was on the last one, and now you got Donald. So pretty cool. Next, let's see here. What else? We had the trailer is like large, just so cool, right? I don't want to go ahead and play the trailer and then get copyright struck. So, I'm sure everyone has seen it, whatever. But uh, you know, EA Sports is out to get Ohio State, and Buckeye fans aren't having it. Like if you go to the screenshot, there's um, Illinois hoisting the Illabuck Trophy, which goes to the winner of the Ohio State Illinois game, which Illinois hasn't won in like 15, 17 years since Juice Williams was quarterbacking for Ron Zook. And you can peek in the background. The score is like 52-42. It's really blurry and out of focus, but you can definitely tell that Illinois won. And then, of course, Kyle McCord has a little cameo in there on a bootleg end around or something like that, and then Donovan making the Ohio State defender look silly. So it's gotten so bad where I think an Ohio State Twitter account put something out that the CEO or somebody higher up at EA Sports is a Michigan alum. So I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I guess the tears taste salty and delicious. I don't know, but yeah, that's where we're at. But it's super exciting to see this game come out. Now, let's get into what to expect. Um, let's go down here. We'll start with the standard edition. So the standard edition is going to be your $69.99 type deal. With that, you can see that you'll get the Alma Mater Ultimate Team Pack, choice of one player item out of 134. Cover Athlete Ultimate Team Pack, choice of one player item out of 3. Bring Glory Home Ultimate Team Uniform item. Let's see here. So right here it says reveal trailer coming soon. Obviously that came out. This game includes optional in-game purchases of virtual currency that can be used to acquire virtual in-game items, including random selection of virtual in-game items, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, you'll have your ultimate team. But with college football, the favorite isn't like Madden. The favorite to play on here is Road to Glory, Online Dynasty, stuff like that. So that's your standard edition. And then we go down here to the deluxe version. This one's going to be $99.99. So right here, you're saving $10 if you play with EA, or with EA Play. This one, you're gonna get, by June 27th, you can receive a Heisman Hopeful Ultimate Team Pack, choice of one player plus additional content like 3-day early access, 4,600 college football points, Alma Mater Ultimate Team Pack, Cover Athlete Ultimate Team Pack, Bring Glory Home Ultimate Team Uniform item, and then of course if you do the MVP bundle, which you'll get Madden along with this as well. So Madden lovers, this is going to be like the do-it-all one-stop shop, and you can save $15 with EA Play on this. You're going to get your Madden early access, which is going to be August 13th through 15th. You're going to get 4,600 Madden points. Includes Xbox Series X and S versions of the game. You get early access to Ultimate Team Challenges, aka Player Item, Cover Athlete, Elite Player Item, 99 overall player in Madden NFL 24, choice of 2 strategy items, Superstar Drip Gear, Legendary XP Boost, and then college football is essentially pretty much the same thing it looks like. But this is pretty cool. Very exciting, right? I personally am not a fan of Madden. I haven't been a fan of Madden since Vince Young was on the cover. And the reason why I say that one was maybe they had it a year after and the year after that. But like I remember that was like 08. I just remember when you had your profile on the game, like you would boost experience points and you had like these rings that would like develop over time or something like that. And I thought that was cool because personally, when I had that game, out of like a few of my friends, I was only going to have a 360 at that time. So like I'd bring the console over and we all had like our own profile. We'd all like compete to finish our rings, and obviously we have our own personal records against each other. Anyways, that's just me personally, but that's where I'm at. Either way, I'm probably going to get the deluxe pack. You know, want to get the game early anyways. Want to get the extra crap, and everything now that I buy for my Xbox is all off the store, off the console, like through the cloud, the stream. I don't buy physical copies anymore. So I thought it was pretty interesting. I mean, I know people are probably doing this for some like nostalgia purposes, but I seen people a few weeks ago like buying the going to GameStop and buying the the pre-sale or the pre-order, and then like taking pictures of their receipt, like they're like people go when they vote and they take a picture of themselves when I voted. But like, I mean, I don't understand the point. Like, then you have to go to the store. I don't know, just saves a lot more time. I just think it's super convenient now that you can do that. um And then some games aren't you allowed to share downloads with other accounts? I don't know. I don't do that, but like I said, I just downloaded everything, and I'm really looking forward to this. The bummer here though is um, what is actually allowed. So where was it at? There's a graphic that was put together. I don't know where they're gonna have every detail. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know if it'll show it here. Where is it? Is it under more? No, it's not. Let's see here. So like whoops, I keep doing that. So for the cross plays, excuse me, I lost my train of thought. Cross plays. The only thing that's going to be kind of a downer is the online dynasties. You're going to have to play with just PS5 folks or just Xbox X folks. It's not going to be cross-platform like that. Um, I think the other ones was like the Road to the Playoff or something like that, and then like Road to Glory. I think you can do the cross platforms there, but you won't be able to do online dynasties. Um, I know Matt Brown said he answered a question about PS5. He says yes, you have crossplay, and yes, there's online dynasty up to 32 teams, but I did read that it's not going to be between those two consoles just yet. What else here? What else we got? Oh, here he goes. So in College Football 25, you can play cross-platform in Road to College Football Playoff, College Football Ultimate Team, and Play a Friend. So you can play each other, just not in obviously Dynasty mode. So there you go. Couldn't find that screenshot. Sometimes when I screenshot things online, like from my phone, and then I go back on my computer to find it so I can just pop the graphic up for you guys while you guys are watching, is it's not always there for some reason. Like college football on Fox posted this graphic of the most cover athletes of all time. Michigan's got 4, and I was gonna put that up there. And I mean, it's not like super important, but like it shows, USC's tied for second with Texas at 3, Florida's at 2 with Alabama, and then Colorado's got the 1. But is what it is. Did I miss anything else? I don't think so. I think we got pretty much the game out of the way. But like it was 10:55. I got the alert on my phone from YouTube or whatever that the trailer dropped or whatever, and so like me and 4 or 5 guys at work pretty much just kind of walked into their corner and pulled their phone out to watch it. I don't know. It was super cool. I thought the graphics looked amazing. I know that's not like actual gameplay footage. It's usually just like the cinematic stuff. But man, that was pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. And I thought the Chris Fowler intro to Welcome to the Jungle couldn't be more chef's kiss. Um, let's see here. What else we got? What else we got for news? Let's see here. All right. I guess in more some somber news, Denard Robinson is no longer on Michigan staff. He was dismissed. No further comment available. Life's going to go on. Probably not going to get much more information after that. So I'm not. It's not going to define Denard's legacy. Made a mistake, and I've mentioned before. Sherman Moore is going to have to bury this in the butt uh, and basically reiterate like this is no excuses. This has to stop now. Players, coaches, everyone alike. Let's see what else do we have here. Alcohol sales will start for Michigan games this fall. That being Fresno State will be the first one, and being under the lights, it's going to be a unique one. I was kind of curious on when this was going to start because I believe this was passed and approved a few months ago, but apparently the Board of Regents voted May 16th to implement Class C liquor license at the Big House. So August 31st, Fresno State, there it is. And speaking of Fresno State, let's get into some of the Michigan schedule stuff. Fresno State is going to be 7:30 under the lights on NBC. September 7th versus Texas at noon on Fox. The game, November 30th at noon on Fox as well. September 21st versus USC will be at 3:30 on CBS Paramount Plus. September 18th, 2027, and September 7th, 2030. Eastern Michigan is going to come to the Big House, so another 2-game set with the Eagles. Now, tailgating is going to be fun for Fresno State. Obviously for the late start. That's my personal favorite time. Actually, I say my personal favorite time is 3:30. I don't mind getting home late after a 7:30 start or an 8 start, but 3:30 I think is a perfect median because for me, the night before I get the truck packed, it's awesome. It's an exciting feeling because you know what you're gonna do the next day. And when you do that 3:30 game, you know, you get home, it's like about 9. You know, at least when I get off the golf course, I get home about 8:39, and I don't mess with the truck till the next day. I just unpacking that late is like screw it, it's gonna wait till tomorrow. Um, but like with the night game, obviously that's goes further into the night. Again, not a complaint, but I would say that noon is just isn't long enough. By the time you set up, you gotta take down. You know, if you're going inside. Either way, regarding the matchups, I was kind of hoping that Texas was going to be the night game. I feel like this is kind of a goofy move, and you know they did this with the Bowling Green. They did this with Hawaii. I mean, it's in a way it's nice that you know Michigan's going to go in and mostly win by a billion, and you have an all day event of it. But for the anticipation, the energy, the buzz. Feel like they swung and missed here. Texas should have been the night game, and Fresno State should have been the noon. But is what it is. Um, see, next we got some Dabo Sweeney stuff. Give me a second here. Yeah, Dabo Sweeney running his mouth once again. Not like horrid, right? But let's go ahead and I'm gonna pop this article up real quick. We'll read this. So this is over at On3. Clemson Tigers, Dabo Sweeney, most of the guys in the portal aren't good enough to play for us. This was dropped on the 16th, 2 days ago, as of this recording by Matt Connolly. So we're going to skim through this. So Clemson coach Dabo Sweeney has been asked about his stance on the transfer portal several times recently. A few days after making headlines for saying every player is technically a transfer, Sweeney offered more thoughts on the transfer portal and why Clemson isn't very active in it during an interview with Roddy Jones on College Sports and SiriusXM. According to Sweeney, most players in the transfer portal wouldn't help the Tigers. Quote, I mean, it's pretty simple. Most of the guys in the portal. Oops, I lost my place. Most of the guys in the portal, or is that, aren't good enough to play for us. That's just the reality of it, Dabo Sweeney said. I mean, we have guys that are backups at Clemson that go into the portal because they just want to have an opportunity, and most of them are graduates, by the way. But we have guys that are backups. They want a chance to go play. I've got no problem with that. So rarely do have a starter leave Clemson. So the majority of the guys, they're guys that are in the portal because they want to have a chance to start somewhere. They're not playing where they are. They're not good enough to come in and play for us. If Clemson is going to bring in a reserve player, Dabo Sweeney would rather have them being a high school player than someone from the portal. He added that there are two types of players in the portal. Neither of them are going to end up at Clemson. The second type of guy that goes in the portal, he's only going in the portal as a formality because the deal's already been done, Sweeney said. He knows where he's going before he ever goes in the portal, so we're not getting that guy. The third type of player is focused on money, according to Sweeney, and Clemson isn't going to win that battle either. And then the third type of guy is going to go in the portal just to see what he can get, where we're never going to win that war, Sweeney said. So we've been really fortunate because, first of all, we're established, been there 16 years, and we don't have a lot of attrition. I mean, we had 127 guys go through spring ball, and 125 are still on the roster after spring. Post portal closing. That's a miracle in today's world. So that basically is about it. Uh, I bring that up because my personal opinion, I think Dabo's kind of a nut job, kind of a goofball, and he's getting a lot of heat. Obviously, coming off a 9-4 season. I don't. I personally don't watch a lot of his interviews, but I know that I feel like just by the average person that comes off as a little bit arrogant, and you're not good enough to come play for us or whatever. I just think that I would agree that I'm with him on the the pay for play stuff. Michigan's in that same realm where they're just not gonna. If you're looking for six figures, you're looking for the bag, whatever. Michigan's just not gonna be. They want the guys that want to go out and win, compete, and I see where Dabo's coming from that angle, but to come off as you're not good, whatever. You went 9-4 last year. That's one bump in the road. After he's won double-digit games pretty much every year he's been there. So we'll see if he can bounce back. He went 11-3 in 2022. Kind of, we think he lost to Notre Dame, lost to South Carolina when they should have won, and they got blown up by Notre Dame in the bowl game. So he's going to look to make the top 12 here, get in the college football playoff, and go try to win it all. But um, I don't know. I just feel like the timing was a little weird. The way you said it was a little weird. All right, next, let's get into what Kirk Cousins said recently. Again, nothing like crazy or anything, but I thought it was a little bit interesting and something that I personally didn't expect. And let's get into this one again from On3, the Wolverine, aka. This is by Nick Costco. This was on the 14th. Kirk Cousins recalls time he wanted to play for Michigan with no scholarship offers. Kirk Cousins had a dream to play for Michigan, not Michigan State like he did. The Atlanta Falcons quarterback grew up thinking he'd wear maize and blue. The Wolverines didn't pay any attention to Cousins coming out of high school in 2007. Heck, it took 5 quarterbacks not committing to Michigan State for Cousins to get a spot with the Spartans. The always humble Cousins recalled the story of wanting to go to Michigan, but revealed how it led him to Michigan State. Growing up in the state of Michigan, if U of M offered me, I mean, come on, Cousins said, I'm bussing with the boys. That's an iconic program, and at the time, Chad Hennings is the starting quarterback, but you have to understand, I was so far not on their radar. Like, I was nobody, and they had Ryan Mallett committed to the team and was signed for a good reason. I mean, the guy was so talented, and once you get a Ryan Mallett, you're not even looking. I didn't even speak to somebody from the university. Like I was so far off the radar, and the only reason Michigan State came in was because their quarterback decommitted. So they were kind of left at the altar. And in December, like, what do we do? Because I walked off the field my last high school game with no scholarship offers, so all my recruiting happened in the last month. With Michigan out of the picture, Cousins didn't have any options, so he took visits wherever he could find them. I was very aware that Division III was on the table, Cousins said, while saying he did not want to walk on because he wanted to compete. So I visited the Ivy League. I flew to Princeton. I remember on Thanksgiving weekend, and my dad and I went to Princeton. We walked around the campus just like, hey, if we can't get a scholarship, maybe the scholarship is to get into a school that have this kind of prestige. So I was very serious about the Ivy League. I remember flying to UConn, and they said like we'd maybe offer you a gray shirt. Like it was crazy. Like just standing there, like please offer me a scholarship. I'd like to play for you, and they'd be like, we're just not sure. Cousins searched around the Big Ten as well. He and his dad gauged interest of Northwestern when Pat Fitzgerald was head coach. And he's like, we're not going to offer you, but we could give you a walk-on spot. My dad goes, how much would it cost to go to Northwestern? Cousins said. Just as a dad, I've said, just as a dad, I've said tuition at the time in 2006 was 38,000 a year just for tuition. And my dad's like, it's going to be a tough coach. Like I got to be honest, or it's got to be tough, coach. I got to be honest. Jeez, I can't read right now. Excuse me. So yeah, it was interesting because when you go play against Northwestern, and it was just an odd dynamic. It's like I cannot read. This is so cringe. I apologize. It's like I was begging you to play for you, right? And now I'm playing against you. Cousins eventually found his way to Mark D'Antonio at Michigan State, redshirting in 2007 and backing up Brian Hoyer in 2008. From there, he played 3 seasons as a starting quarterback. The rest is history, as he was a fourth-round pick by the Washington Redskins behind Robert Griffin III in 2012. In 2018, following backup and starting stints, Cousins started for the Minnesota Vikings for the last 6 seasons and just signed with the Atlanta Falcons this spring. Four-time Pro Bowler, has had has a successful career at this point. Who knows what could have happened if he went to Michigan? Anyways, so I apologize for literally fumbling a few of those lines there, but I figured I'd read that because I never knew Kirk Cousins was trying to even go or even think of U of M. He had that interview. I think it was a final game where he beat Michigan. I think it was where Michigan donned the Bumblebee away jerseys, and Michigan State was rocking those like forest green black with like a gold tintish helmet or whatever. It was just really strange in my opinion. I thought maybe the jerseys were cool, but they were really hard to read. And he's standing there post game and says, I'm not gonna quote him word for word, but basically says, every one of these guys in this locker room can, move on through life knowing that they never lost to Michigan, right? So that was the launching point for the Spartans and Mark D'Antonio's program um, in that time period. But yeah, thought that was pretty interesting to read. Or, geez, at least try to, right? Let's see what else we have here on the list. Let's get into the portal. The ever, the ever so crazy portal. Let's see here. This is another thing where beginning of the week I'd have been like, dude, Hayden Moore, former linebacker, he's moving on to where was it? Kansas, Washington State, but no, it's Washington. But here, Samaj Bridgman, he entered the portal last week. We talked about it on the show. He's now going to be a Spartan. He's moving on to East Lansing. It was a 4-star linebacker out of high school, and he's a 3-star linebacker in the portal, according to On3. But things got a lot better, and it started with Albany cornerback, Amir Hall. Last season, PFF gave him an 85.7 grade to go along with his 5 interceptions, 12 pass breakups, 73 passer rating allowed, and 88.3 coverage grade. To kind of give you a comparison, that would have been like good enough to be right where about Josh Wallace was at. The UMass transfer from last season, who you know I won't say balled out, but did fairly well across from Will Johnson and Mikey Sanderson. So um, I think this is a great get. Again, Michigan is not going to go out and try to buy the elite ones from those other high end Division One programs. They're going to go out and get dogs, guys who want to get ready for the next level. Hopefully, that being the NFL. Now, Josh Wallace didn't get drafted, but he got signed. So um, we'll see how this goes. Again, this is a position group that I've been, not just me, but a lot of people have been worried about after losing what they've done or what they've lost in the portal. With DJ Waller, Keon Sabb, and so this weekend or going into this weekend, Michigan got the depth that was very much uh, required. Michigan as well got the safety Wes Walker. I'm going to say Wesley Walker. Walker has previously been at Georgia Tech, Tennessee, and Louisville. People were making jokes on Twitter that this dude is trying to make a college world tour. Now, there's only stats with him being at Tech and Tennessee. So with Louisville, maybe I didn't read up on more than this than really the headline, but um, so maybe he was an off-season addition and then changed his mind. But again, this guy doesn't have to go out and be the next Leon Hall. But depth is key again, and it's just nice to see that you know the safety position has got another body there. Uh, Friday afternoon, a bombshell hit. Now I say this say it's a bombshell because of the circumstances being his former team. But Michigan State safety Jaden Mangum comes in with 53 tackles, 1 for loss, 4 interceptions, and an MSU secondary that's been pretty god awful. It's been an issue the last 3 seasons. So I'm not saying Jaden is bad. I'm not saying he's elite, but he's good enough to be in there again to provide the depth. So get 2 safeties this weekend, and Magnum has played for 2 years. So I think he's got 2 years eligibility left, and you know 4 interceptions. Maybe he's burnt toast 6 out of the 10 times, and the other 4 times are interceptions. I don't know, but uh, with a better coaching staff, in my opinion. At least from not Jonathan Smith's unit, but with Mel Tucker's, maybe Mangum can shape up. I know MSU just grabbed somebody in the portal, I believe too, that was in the secondary. So I don't know, maybe writing was on the wall. Either way, Mangum's moving down the street, and that's pretty much it for the news and notes. But like I said, if we would have done this episode like our usual like Monday Tuesday thing, all I would have had for you is Hayden Moore Cohen just going to Washington. But Thursday and Friday, we had. All right, ladies and gentlemen, about to give you the Southeast Michigan podcast top 20 helmets of all time. So we made comments over some other people's last year, but decided to make mine. So here they are. We're going to go from 20 down to 1. And criteria wise, probably would just be the history, the overall look, and maybe the prestige of the program, factors like that. Not just basically entirely off looks, but this is kind of a beauty contest in a way. I will say all these helmets are pretty much their everyday ones, their traditional ones. Some teams have alternates. You got Oregon, who has like 50 bajillion alternate uniforms and helmets, but basically just your Monday through Friday type deal, right? So here we go. Let's do this. So my face will disappear, but the screen will not. So if you are watching, you'll see everything pop up right now. So here we go. I can't even talk. Southeast Michigan podcast, top 20 helmets of all time. First one at number 20. Yes, I got the Colorado Buffaloes here. I think it's a classic helmet. Now, I'll say another one. Like these helmets are like a little bit more modern, right? I'm not going to have helmets up from one from the 1992 season, the other one from the 2000 season. Basically, what you see most recognizable. Got the Colorado Buffs here, and even the ones from like the Cordell Stewart days were sweet, I think. And this is where we're at. I know Prime has got them wearing the gray ones. You got the white ones. I got here just their Monday through Friday gold, and then of course you got the CU with the buff on the side. So number 20, Colorado Buffaloes. Number 19, I got the Boise State Broncos here. Now I do think the ones where you got that matte blue and then you got that silver pony on the side. You know what I mean? I think those are really sweet. Like it almost looks like the AMP helmet that the NFL did for their concepts, where they just blow up the logo. But like the Jared Zabransky, the Ian Johnson helmets, like that's the style I like right there. The Boise State. Um, Number 18, got the UCLA Bruins. Gold, UCLA in cursive on the side. I think that's a classic look. And a historic Pac-10, Pac-12, Pac-8, whatever. Going to be now a Big Ten team. I got the UCLA Bruins at 1-8. Number 17, got the Washington Huskies. And I'm starting to see a trend here all of a sudden now. Like, apparently I like gold. I'm bougie. No, number 17, I got the Huskies. Another classic looking helmet with the W on the side. And so far, got two Big Ten teams on here. Apparently, I'm biased. The purple face mask to go along with it. I dig it. I dig it. Number 16. Now, it's kind of hard to put Penn State in where you put them in a list for me personally, because it's just a plain white helmet with the pinstripe, right? Penn State fans might disagree. Traditionalists might disagree. I'd consider myself one, but like I feel like Penn State, if they put a Nittany Lion on the side, I think it would be really cool. And like the one that they had in like the early 2000s, where you have like the Penn State wording and then like the Nittany Lions like hovering above it, like panning looking away in the distance, kind of like off shoulder. I feel like putting that on the helmet would even spruce it up. I wouldn't say like putting a P on there or anything like that, but overall, I think the Penn State, just the plain white, it's recognizable. You know who it is. That's why it's at 16. I know some people have put this at 1, some people have put this in their top 3, 5, whatever. But it's just, if it added a little substance to it, it'd be higher. Next, number 15 is going to be the Oklahoma Sooners. Again, another classic look. Um, the OU, whoops, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. A little ahead of myself. Oh no, if you're watching, you already know like the next 4. I scrolled too far. So get the Sooners right there at 15. Um, Next, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Another like plain Jane looking helmet, but tradition, history, that N, and that's where I'm at. You see that helmet, you think of like Tommy Frazier and Osborne and the 1997 season where they finished 2 behind Michigan. You know what I'm saying? But Huskers right there at number 14. Next at 13, I got the Alabama Crimson Tide. You know the numbers on the side, pretty cool, old school. Makes me think of Forrest Gump, but no, Crimson Tide, classic looking helmet. And if you're watching right now, it's got the 1-8 on there. I mean, usually like the generic helmets that you see, obviously they'll have the year of a national championship on there or the year of whatever season it is. But 1-8's on there. It's not like it's a specific player, but there you have it. All right, next. This is probably got leaked a little too early when I was scrolling. A little happy there, but is Oregon. So again, Oregon has probably about 50 different alternates. I really like the what they call it, the chrome or platinum or black, whatever, or liquid metal. I like anything gray, white, or black. But traditional here with just the green and the yellow O, Joey Harrington, Marcus Mariota. Like this is just what I see when I see this helmet. Maybe even a little D'Anthony Thomas. I know some of those guys I just mentioned, whatever, played in the Nike alternate universe there, but traditional Oregon Duck helmet. That's what I like. Next is number 11 with the Clemson Tigers. Uh, Again, paw print. They're not the ones that invented the paw print. I know a lot of people have copied it and redone it. I think the old school, Auburn Tigers and Missouri Tigers, basically just cupcake cookie cutter looking logo. But um, today's world, I just think this is a nice looking lid. Trevor Lawrence, Tosh Boyd, uh, was it C.J. Spiller? Like, I just think that's a nice looking bucket. See number 10 here, Florida Gators. And if you're watching, it's the Gators helmet that just says Gators on the side. Growing up as a kid, I have a lot of family. I kind of like the Gators because I have a lot of family that live down there. Not all of them are Gator fans, but like just being down there on vacations and just kind of having some affiliation with the state. I just there's just something about it where, to me, it's just a classic look. The Gator head itself is a cool piece of the helmet when they do wear it, or just on their jerseys, whatever, or on flags. And then I have to say, like the white helmet alternate where they put just like a blue F on there, not for me. It's kind of weird. I like the N on Nebraska, but like the F, just not for me. But I like the script Gators. Number 9, it's the USC Trojans. Got another Big Ten team on here, right? Full of Big Ten teams. But no, a Pac-10, Pac-12, whatever, just historic program. And they had a solid run with Pete Carroll, and so when you see this helmet, you got the gray face mask, the Trojan on the side. That's Reggie Bush, you know, standing there looking at you. You got Dwayne Jarrett, Matt Leinart, Lendell White, all those guys, and the one Hawaiian linebacker, I can't remember his name. But either way, Trojans at 9. Number 8, another Big Ten team. Surprise. We got Michigan State here. Now, you got to show respect to the rivals, and I think Michigan State's got a solid helmet. This one here, green with the white Spartan on the side and the white stripe over the middle. However, I do like that white helmet they wear with the green logo, and I do like the old Gruff Sparty logo. Like that Gruff Sparty logo, like if I was a diehard Spartan fan, like there would be no way that wouldn't be on my body right now in tattoo form. Like that is just a badass logo, and you know, I gotta say, like Mission Spartan uniforms, they're dope. I'm sorry, but they're dope, and their helmet is good enough to be at number 8 for me. Number 7, Florida State Seminoles. We're back in the Sunshine State. Florida State, again, classic look. Got the what the hell, the arrowhead going across the side there, pretty sweet. And of course, you gotta dig this little helmet stickers they put on the back, super sweet. And Chief Osceola, the whole tradition down there is just why this helmet for me is in the top 10. And I, could be wrong, but I want to say when people were doing a lot of these lists last year, in the summer, I don't think I've seen any Florida State helmets inside the top 15. They were always like in the back half, which was, I was flabbergasted, if I want to be honest here. Next, number 6 is the Tennessee Volunteers. Again, when I see this helmet, I'm thinking of Peyton Manning, Arian Foster, uh, the one fat white coach that I can't remember his name. But like, seriously, the Volunteer helmet, classic look. And again, I guess apparently I'm just in love with teams with just a unique letter font. I don't know. But classic look. All right, top 5. Here we go. We're back in the Sunshine State, Miami Hurricanes. And for that brief, I say brief, it was kind of a brief one, but like the 2000s Miami Hurricanes, this was the helmet, man. Slap a black visor on here and call me Ed Reed. Beautiful lid. It's a shame that these guys can't get more than 5 people and a dead dog to go to watch the spring game. This program suffers mightily for the stadium not being on campus, and they pay players a bajillion amounts of money to finish 2 games above 500, and uh, I just can't help but now think of last season when instead of kneeling the clock out, they go run a play, fumble the ball, and then was it Georgia Tech goes and wins with 30 seconds to go. Just absolutely silliness, but the reason why this helmet is here is again that 2000s memory of that top tier program. All right, getting in top 4 here. We got another Big Ten team, and we got another rival here. Got Ohio State, and again, kind of a plain helmet on one side, and helmet Buckeye stickers on the other. This one is again just classic, historic, whatever you want to call it. I do, a lot of my Michigan fam, and I say fam like a lot of my Michigan friends hate me when I say this, but Ohio State alternate uniforms when they incorporate black, it's to me is the cat's meow. It's the cat's pajamas. Now, as a Raiders fan, I dig the silver and black, right? Just black's my favorite color. So when Ohio State rolls out and they do those alternates, I'm all for it, man. Those are my colors. When Michigan has historically done their alternates, I've absolutely despised them. I hate them. Don't think the colors deserve that. But Michigan's got the big game blues now. That's all I care about. But regarding Ohio State's helmet, it's classic. I like it. Slap a visor on that. We're thinking Chris Gamble and Beanie Wells. Like it's just nice. Sorry. I think I threw up in my mouth a little. Number 3 here, Texas Longhorns. Look at this helmet. Again, clean, white with that orange Longhorn on the side, and screams Vince Young. This is it. This is for Ricky Williams. This is Earl Campbell. Just, again, number 3 in my opinion, right? Not much else to say. Now we got 2 left, and you're watching, listening to this, and you're like, where the hell is he putting Michigan? Just just hold on to your boots. Buckle up, as Wink Martindale would say, which has been quite a hoot on Twitter. All right, number 2, got another rival, and I got another team that, or a school that can't make up its mind what conference it wants to be affiliated with. But I got the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the Golden Domers. I know it's kind of playing like Penn State's, but at least it's a color. And the alternates that they've done before with like the shamrock on the side, pretty dopey. But again, Brady Quinn, Joe Montana, like this is like Rudy. You know what I'm saying? Like beautiful helmet, one of the all-time greats. When I used to run a sports autograph memorabilia page, I remember, it was basically where you buy in, you get a chance to win items, right? That are signed, and one of them was by Rocket Ishmael, not the most high-profile player of all time from Notre Dame, but like he signed. I think I did a Joe Montana one too, so that was a little bit better. But like there was a Notre Dame helmet, and it was like quote unquote hydro dipped, and it looked like had like raindrops on it. You know what I'm saying? It looked like it was wet, but it was just bumpy, but it looked like raindrops. That was absolutely phenomenal looking lid. But that's where I got Notre Dame, number 2. And the number 1's Michigan, right? I'm trying not to sound biased here. Like I'm being dead serious. When you see Michigan, like even like your granny who doesn't even watch football, when they see that helmet, they're like, "Oh, it's Michigan." I mean, might say that about a few other schools, right? But like to me, Michigan is one of the best brands in the world, and literally, Michigan, Ohio State are like top 2, top 3 in every category across the board. You, I'm in Las Vegas on a trip, and I'm wearing something, and it's just, I know it's not a helmet, but I got a logo there. Like you just hear "Go Blue." You know what I'm saying? Even when before these last 3 years of success, right? No matter where you go, there's Michigan fans, and the helmet is just iconic. There's been subtle changes over the years of how the wings are flared, how they're not flared, the vibrancy of the yellow, maize, whatever. The matte blue look now on it is absolutely dope. I'm sorry, but Michigan helmets are just absolutely phenomenal. Whether it's going to be your traditional shut looking helmet, a speed flex, doesn't matter. Michigan helmets for the win. So that's where we're at for the top 20 Southern Michigan podcast helmets of all time. There it is. And now I'm back on your screen. Let's knock this out. We got mailbag to go, and we can close this show. All right. Mailbag time. We got a few to get to, all regarding the Michigan football team. So Jeff Johnson, you guys know who Jeff Johnson is. Longtime buddy of mine, guy who I co-host the Real Talk Michigan edition podcast with. We don't even really have a name for it. It's a long story, but one would assume we're going to be back for, I think, would it be 2020, 21, 22, 23, a fifth season, right? We'll be back for a fifth season on that. But he writes in a few times a day. Appreciate you, Jeffrey, the sheriff, as we call him in my fantasy league. He writes in first here with, why did Donovan Edwards get the cover of the NCAA? Well, according to Ohio State fans, it's because the EA Sports CEO is a Michigan fan or alum, whatever. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, he's got a huge. No, I'm just kidding. Um, no, but OSU fans have been crying over this. But in all seriousness, he's a high-profile player with a national championship school, and he's made a lasting impact on the game itself, and he's returning. To me, it's not that deep, Buckeye fans, but he's thrown 3 passes in his career, completed all of them. One's for a touchdown, but no, I just he made his mark in the national championship against Washington. He's made his mark in the Ohio State game in 2022, and like I said, he's back. So, and he's got this kind of like this carefree. I don't say carefree. Maybe is not the right way to explain it, but he's got the charisma. He's got the comfortability behind the camera, and when he's been in an interview, he's got kind of like that frat boy, you know, vibe sometimes, in my opinion. No shade being thrown there, but just he's very open and he's very he's got that marketable face and that swag. Same thing with like Travis Hunter, I think. But Quinn Ewers, I think is an interesting one. I don't really see much of him, but I think all three of those guys were pretty solid picks. Next, Michigan opens up, and this is from Jeff as well. Michigan opens as a 10-point underdog. Opinions. No secret, OSU's reloaded heavy in the portal and has a quarterback on the roster with 4 years of experience in Will Howard. No guarantee that he's going to be a starter. You have Julian Sand and Aaron Nolan there competing. Um, plus they return a lot more starters than Michigan does. Really Michigan is suffering on offense with that, and I'm saying suffering like I have a lack of. But never in a million years would a Michigan team allow the underdog label to not be a motivator. So 10 points, 15 points, to me, it doesn't matter. I think the biggest question right now for Michigan is the quarterback, and I think that's why they're giving Ohio State that edge there. Plus, it's at home, it's in Columbus. Um, but it's going to change. It's going to change, and obviously we'll have to get into the season and figure out where they're at. And a long-winded answer here. If you remember last season, I said we'll find out really what Michigan Ohio State we're going to be made of during the Michigan Ohio State game, the very last regular season game, because Kyle McCord had a lot to prove, and JJ McCarthy was coming back to all or nothing mentality. And I thought both those teams were going to go as far as their quarterbacks were going to take them. And as we learned, Michigan played as cohesively as a whole unit. But we'll see how this one plays out. Jeff Johnson again. What Wolverines got drafted to their best fit? Good question. Junior Colson is my number one. To me, it's like kind of like duh, but 2 seasons with Jesse Minter in Ann Arbor, and now um, a third with him and a fourth with Jim here in L.A. I was about to say San Diego, but I think the Chargers is a good fit with the familiarity with everything. You got Ben Herbert's even there. Was it Steve Klingskill's there? I know that's not his position coach, but just it's Ann Arbor sister station. JJ McCarthy is my number two. I'm not completely sold on Kevin O'Connell as a head coach, but as an offensive system, I mean, dude, like he's gonna have weapons aplenty. Sam Darnold probably gets the nod to start the year, but I hope JJ moves in eventually and then just has a long lasting career. But I mean, Justin Jefferson, you know, uh, T.J. Hawkinson, who's the sophomore wide receiver. See, Jamie's gonna hate me for this because my memory sometimes is good, but it's not good at all time. Um, but they got weapons everywhere, and they play in a dome. You know, and the Lions playing a dome, so when he's got to go to Detroit, he's gonna be able to play in 70 degrees. And I'm not saying like anything about him not being able to play in cold weather, but like I just think overall, man, it's a spot, especially as a quarterback. Um, Roman Wilson's my third. I mean, Roman Wilson. I mean, could it be the next Deontay Johnson? The Steelers have a good hit rate with these wide receivers. Especially with Mike Tomlin being there. Some haven't, but I feel like they're all one of the most successful at identifying the position out of college. Um, like I said, like Martavis Bryant, I don't think was a bad pick when they did it. He just had off the field problems, but like being Antonio Brown out of Central Michigan and him being could have been one of the most prolific wide receivers of all time, and he showed a lot of that in a short amount of time. But like Roman Wilson, I think could be something. Um, I will tell you who also I'm not high on, uh, fit wise. One is Mikey Sanderstill. Now, tremendous player. Like I've done nothing but praise him for a long time, but the Washington Redskins, Red Barons football team, Commanders, they're just an awful organization. And it's a spot where some players go to die. I don't think that I don't know. I hope for the best, but I think that was a crappy landing spot for him. I wish he was on my team, to be honest. I was really, I mean, we needed a cornerback. We went out and got different guys instead, but I was really hoping we got Agent Zero. We just didn't. But best of luck for Mikey. And maybe Corm would be my last one. I feel like Sean McVay Rams have a lot of moving parts at skill positions. I'm gonna just see where Corm ends up. If he's a Ram long term. But like since Sean McVay's been there, they've gone through a stable, and I mean today's NFL. There's not a lot of bell cows out there. I'm not saying Blake Corum will be a bell cow. I'm not saying he could be, but um, I don't know. Remains to be seen. That's why this is the last one I name right there, and it's because like I'm just not sure yet. Uh, Last question here, Ron Sandcramp, my cousin here, first time writing in. Appreciate you, Ronnie. Should U of M put statues outside the big house? What would the criteria be? So I really did think about this, and I say sure. I don't see why they can't. The south end zone entrance has a lot of room. The side that faces Ann Arbor High School. So I think for criteria, I think it would either be retired jersey players or full body of work guys. That includes the NFL too, if it makes any sense. I don't know. So on one hand, like Dez, Woodson, Tom Harmon, and maybe like Anthony Carter. Or you can include Blake Corum, Jim Harbaugh, and maybe JJ for that body of work. Big Ten champions, national champions. Jim makes a lot of sense with the former player turned coach aspect. But it's interesting to think of JJ and Blake with them still being so young. And you can lump the body of work I mentioned with how they fare in the pros, right? Um, but to me, I think it's a little weird to put up statues when guys are still pretty vibrant. You know what I mean? So when I say vibrant, even like Jim Harbaugh, like he's in his 60s, right? But I feel like just too quick, it's too soon. But Jim retires from football entirely, and he's not coaching the pros either. I think that would be a good time to start brainstorming something. I mean, I would say that specific entrance is because it's just so wide open when you walk in. I know it's when initially going in and everyone's crowding the gates and stuff like that, it can be kind of hectic. But I just think there's a lot of room out there, and I guess there's some on the north side too that you could do. I just maybe the north side, but I just feel like the main entrance is in the south. Um, but yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Right now it's 12:13 p.m. on Saturday, May 18th. Appreciate you guys chiming in. And I really, really am happy the way this podcast has gone on, has improved, and you know, I'm not I'm not a pro. Try to do my best, and I thank you guys for tuning in and showing the support on the pages. So again, if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, you can. And hit up the Facebook page. Everything will be in that little description box, as always mentioned. And yeah, so we'll be back probably next week. Again, we're approaching episode 50 here, week by week. I think this is episode 48, if I'm not mistaken, 48 or 49. I think it's 48. This is the part where my brain starts to take a nap. But episode 50, again, I have plans for that. I've been trying to mention that every time because it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a little mix and match, but we'll see how that goes. Anyways, enough yapping. Have a good weekend. Have a good week. I'll see you back in a few days, and we'll talk more developments in the wide world of Michigan sports. And maybe if college football drops some more news, we'll chat about that. But again, a few more months, couple more months, And it'll be here. I like Dynasty time, Road to Glory time, playing with the bros time. And before you know it, Fresno State will be on the weekend. So, anyways, you guys have a good one. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.